Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back. There is no such thing as an accurate bow. Trust me on this. Pay attention. We're opening up Pandora's box after all. First of all, I am no archery expert, but I pretty well will be soon enough if I keep watching videos, keep going on forums, keep learning stuff, trying things. Yeah, I'm going to be an expert in no time, I think, but I got a lot of stuff up here now that I kind of really didn't know I had to have, but apparently I do. So, and I have a lot of stuff up here that I wish I never saw on video because those videos were so idiotic and so dumb. Okay, but hey, you know what? It takes all kinds to make the world, and I'm not perfect either, and I'm sure I do some stuff that's probably stupid too. Anyway, there's no such thing as an accurate bow. Okay? All a bow is a tool to launch an arrow. Okay? What makes an accurate hit on a target? It's not that. It's not these either. It's having an arrow to start with that doesn't do this, but does do this. It's got to run concentric. Okay? That's a key part in shooting accurately. A straight arrow. Okay? The correct length of arrow for your draw. On a compound bow, making sure that it's set for your draw length. Okay? Another key component. Now, in compounds, you get to cheat a little, kind of like guns with scopes. Okay? It's a lot easier to hit a target if you have a sighting system, especially a really good one, which compounds do. Now, even though this front sight's composite material, it's still a really damn good sight, okay? And it can be dialed in to be extremely precision, and along with having the peep sight, which you're going to need too, okay? And there's different types of peeps too. The one on my PSE Stinger, it's just like a little disc and that's it. There's no rubber band attached to it. This one needs to because it has to flip it into position properly so I can see through it. However, this kind of a bow, being a compound with sights, you will be able to shoot this extremely accurately faster than you will ever do a traditional bow. Traditional bows take a hell of a pile more work and practice at getting accurate with them because generally you don't use sights on a traditional bow. You are shooting off the shelf. Now you can add sights. Don't get me wrong. You can add sights to a traditional bow, but you're also shooting right off the shelf on this one, okay? Which means 100% guaranteed you better have feathers on those arrows, not friggin' plastic vanes, because otherwise you're just going to keep getting kicked on you, and you're not going to ever hit the bullseye except by pure dumb luck, okay? And that's going to be about what it is. My Nighthawk here, now I mounted a quiver on this one. I'm still going to get a quiver for the other one eventually. This one I shoot off the rest, okay, but I could shoot the shelf. But I want to shoot off the rest on this. I'm used to it, and it's set up for rest shooting. It's also set up for split finger. That one is 3-finger only the way it's set up. And actually, I kind of like 3-finger, but I can't set this one up that way unless I change a few position about the knock, but I don't want to. I like the way it is. But I can also add on different types of rests to either one of these because I got a burger hole. And so I can actually put in like a really pro level rest system with a plunger and all this other jazz. Or I can, stick with this, right? Or I can mount a whisker biscuit. But once I do a whisker biscuit, well, I'm still stuck. I won't be shooting feathers anymore through a whisker biscuit because it'll just tear the feathers off. So I'll have to go to plastic vanes at that point, and I don't want to. I like the traditional idea. This is a traditional bow. It's going to shoot arrows with feathers. That's all there is to it. Now, you can get the tri-brush system, which is similar idea to a whisker biscuit. You can actually offset your arrow so that it actually doesn't come in contact with the feathers to the brushes. But you also do have the option where you can shoot plastic vanes at that point too, even on one of those bows, because you can mount it on there because of the burger hole. So unless the burger hole's in use for something else, well, then you got a problem. But to get good at a traditional bow takes a lot more time and effort, a lot more concentration, a lot more focus, okay, than what a compound does. But neither one of them are accurate. You are the one who is being accurate. Sighting system, dialing it in, and practice, and having the right length of arrow, the right weight of arrow, the right spine of arrow on either bow. All that needs to be correct on both bows. The length, the weight, and the spine. If you underspine or overspine your arrows for your bow and for its weight that you're using it with, you're going to have accuracy issues, okay? Even if everything else about that arrow is correct, if that spine is not correct for that purpose of poundage in play, you're going to have a lot of problems. And I know this for a fact. I have 700 spined arrows for my Nighthawk that work great with the 20-pound limbs. But when I use the 40-pound limbs, they're friggin' all over the map. Okay? And I'm getting really good shooting left-handed trad. Okay? I'm also getting really good right-handed trad and both left and right-handed compound. And I'm really good with the compounds. Why? Because I have sights. Okay? And it allows me more precision setup than a trad bow does. Okay? I shoot my trad bows instinctive shooting. Okay? So I am looking at my target. I'm not sighting the arrow. I'm not doing gap shooting. I'm not walking the string, which, well, that's a whole other video to talk about walking the string. There's a lot of stupidity behind it, which we'll talk about in another video of why it's not something you should do. But I've learned a lot, okay? And I've learned from experts. I've also learned from people that have even far less knowledge than even I started with. So you get to learn a lot being on YouTube, let me tell you. I will say this, I do have to put credit where credit is due. I have seen some kids, like young kids, that were like my age when I started, that are doing reviews on bows, and they know a lot, okay? And they know how to shoot, but they also know that gear really well. So there are actually some kids out there that are really super smart cookies. I appreciate that. But when I look at bows here on Amazon like you do, I'm like, I don't look at that. It's a popular seller and it's only $75. Must be a great accurate bow because the guy on YouTube said this thing was really friggin' accurate. It's not the bow. It's him. It's the arrows he's using. It's the time he's had in shooting traditional bow. That's what makes it so accurate, because he knows how to shoot the darn things. Okay? So, but the person is saying it's an accurate bow. It's not the bow. It's never the bow. It's the arrow, the length, the weight, the spine, the poundage working with that stuff properly. Sighting system, no sighting system. Not a whole lot of practice required. Way too much practice required. Okay? There's a big gap difference here between them. Okay? Compounds are becoming more and more popular because you can also change poundages. You can make a compound grow with the person, okay? This bow starts out at 15-inch draw length and goes to 27. Now, I'm a 28, but I can shoot a 27 just comfy too. 1 inch ain't killing me, okay? And I still get a proper anchor point even at 27 with this as a righty, and I shoot a lefty at 28 inch, okay? And these are definitely not the right arrows for this bow. But I'm shooting them anyways until I can afford to order some proper arrows for this thing. So I picked out a few that I want and filled up my quiver. I got 4 arrows I can beat the snot out of with this thing. And you know what? Even though these arrows, they're good for the spine part is fine, but the length and weight is way out of control for where I have the poundage set. But I need more time in with a right-handed bow at a lower poundage draw before I pop this puppy to 50 pounds, okay? But this is a bow that can grow with a kid right up into their adult years, and it maxes at 50 pounds, a 27-inch draw. It's the only way you're going to get to 50 pounds, okay? However, it can grow with you, and you can hunt with this thing for anything you're legally allowed to take down with 50 pounds and under. So, yeah, it's pretty decent, and it's lightweight too, which is great for youth because my stinger is freaking heavy compared to this thing. And I love shooting this thing because it's so freaking light, you know, and I can stay on target and shoot a lot more rounds too. Mind you, I'm running my PSC at 54 pounds, where this is running like 36 pounds, I think I got this at. 34 or 36. Anyways, shooting great. But I also have to use the second middle pin, which would normally be my 26-yard pin. That's how heavy those arrows are. I set that thing for 385 grain arrows on the first pin at 14 yards. I'm shooting 14 yards on the second pin with those because they're so much heavier. It's the only way that I can hit the bullseye without resetting up the whole thing. And I don't want to do that because when I get the replacement arrows, they're going to be the same weight as what I was shooting, okay? So this way I don't have to dick with anything other than maybe a minor adjustment because I'll have also more proper length arrows than what I was using, which were kind of a little borderline, but they were close. So this is just way too long. So they got to be straight. They got to have the right kind of fletches, veins or feathers for whatever kind of rest system. You've got to have the right weight. You've got to have the right spine. You've got to have a lot of practice time in on either platform, compound or traditional, whichever you're going to go with. That's where the accuracy comes from. It has not a damn friggin' thing to do with a bow. I can take a slingshot, and I have literally done this. I have shot arrows through a raw slingshot, okay? So no little tube mods or anything. Just a standard everyday cheap slingshot from friggin' Canadian Tire or Home Hardware. And I popped a friggin' arrow on the back with its knock there and hold her back and stretched her out and pa-ching, 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 pa-ching. And I got pretty damn accurate doing that. That was fun, okay? So that alone will prove to you that if you can do that with a slingshot, with a freaking arrow, and get really deadly accurate with that on a raw slingshot, what's that tell you about the bow being accurate? No such thing. No such thing at all. And anybody who says any difference don't know archery that well, okay? It's not the bow. It's all the rest of that stuff combined, okay? And if you don't have the proper fitting pieces to the puzzle with your bow, then guess what? You'll never shoot it accurately, okay? You've got to have the right tools for the task at hand, or it does not jive together properly, okay? Anyways, that's what I got for you on this video. If you want to know more, ask in the comments below. I got a lot more stuff up here that I've got to filter through yet because some stuff I just want to try and get out of my brain because it's like, that was so dumb. Anyways, thanks. We'll see you in the next one. Ciao.